Alright, what's up YouTube? We're back with a video. So, MOISTCharlie clips, 1.3 million subscribers, uploaded a video that Charlie hates PSA and what's going on in the Pokemon like space and the TCG or whatever. He basically points out like grading, you know, the upcharge fees, you're getting charged more. Like, let's say you get a card, you send it in, you pay 15 shipping, right, you pay 25 to grade it. These guys decide, oh, well, we're going to pay, you're going to charge you $150 and you want to get your card back. Basically, all the upcharge nonsense and then raising their prices within, like, the idea that, you know, you send a submission in and then they charge you more because they raise the price, right? Now, there's people in the comments on this video, which, you know, I'm going to basically post here. Like, people say Ace Grading in the UK is the best grading company. I'm like, what crack are you smoking, bro? Ace grades cards at 10 and they're off center, right? So there's a guy here on this page and he basically posts, like, he makes a comment, right? And he's like, I'm like, Ace is a scam, check my page, yeah? So I was basically replying to a lot of these people that keep saying use, you know, Ace on the video. Like, there's one guy, yeah? There's one crackpot, right? Look, there's one crackpot. I'm going to show you this, yeah? He says... It says here on this comment, look at this. This is basically absolutely bonkers, bro. What this guy commented here. So he said, this is why everyone should use Ace Grading. It's owned by Randolph, PokeRandy. He actually cares about every card they touch, use Ace Grading. Alright, if that was true, then why is he grading off-center cards at 10? If you sell an off-center card to somebody that is blatant, like, and for anyone that's not, for anyone that maybe could pop across this video and, you know, maybe question me or saying, oh, you're just an Ace hater, blah blah blah, right? Okay, let me go back to a photo on my phone. We're gonna basically post this for video purposes, right? And we're gonna move this out of the way real quick on the video before we get into the video. And so, okay, how is this a 10, guys? How is this a 10? All right, well, the centering is off like 90%, right? It's like 80-20 centering, and it get given a 10, right? There's multiple examples. I posted a short on YouTube. We're gonna basically, like, if we go to YouTube, right, real quick, right, on my phone, and we go to my shorts, right, we go to shorts on the channel, and then we post this. This has got 9k views, right? Turn the volume off. How is that a 10? Use AGS grading. This is a screenshot we posted, and look how bad this card is, right? It's got, how many likes this one video got in now? 15 likes, yeah? Ace grading is a scam, yeah? So if anyone's sitting there on this video saying, oh, Ace is the better option. Now, somebody in my YouTube comments, you know, basically said to me, you know, this is before we get into video. This is the rundown before the video, because there's something massive in this video that this guy says about, you know, them selling their own cards. And what does Ace do? Ace sells they go to an event, right? And they sell cards at an event and they grade from you, yeah? So basically, you're going to sell them your cards and they're going to grade your cards, put them in Ace graded cases, and then they're going to sell them back to you at a show. And this is your so-called King Randolph Pokemon. Randolph is a scammer, yeah? Simple as this. Right, so it says, this guy made a comment on my channel. Just out of interest, are you in any way sponsored or to receive incentives from sales at AGS? I said, no, I'm not. And this is a true statement, right? If I believe in something, I promote it. PSA pissed me off upcharging and trying to pay me more while they increase their prices. Yeah? I'm sick of also shipping to the States, right? And I'm like, do you even watch my channel? I posted a video on this. Right, so listen. So the idea of these guys, like, let's just get into this video, right? We're going to jump to about 10 minutes, because 10 minutes is about more like the time where he says about them selling their own cards. Because I think it's around this part of the video. Right, we've got ads because we're on Google Chrome, right?
Once you try eBay.
Sorry about the ads. You know, we're on Google Chrome. That's where we like pretty much do the videos. So I'm going to unpause it.
Clearly gets it wrong, and it's not consistent.
So he's talking about tag being not consistent, right? This is why AGS was doing this before tag, right? AGS was started before tag, right? Am I sponsored by AGS? No. I'm not sponsored by AGS. Am I using AGS? Yes. Why? Because they give you a grade, and the grade is backed up by the pictures and evidence on why the card is the grade it is. I'm not waiting 9 months to send my cards to PSA to get them to turn around and go, oh, well, your card is a 9. Why? Why is my card a 9? Well, we don't provide that information. But our professional graders that smoke weed and, you know, take drugs at the weekend and come into work, yeah, they said the card's a 9, so your card's a 9. Oh, right, okay.
The idea is good. The technology isn't there, or rather, I guess the company doesn't have the technology required to actually be consistent. But of all the grading companies, this one has the best idea. PSA, I think, is just beyond corrupt, top to bottom.
PSA is corrupt. This is what he's saying. PSA is corrupt, right? But Randolph or Ace Grading is not here to save the day. Yeah, because he's another scammer, right? He's a scammer. They're all scam artists. Keep your cards raw or grade them with AGS, right? That's what I'm basically saying. Keep your cards raw or grade with AGS, right? Because you're getting scammed. CGC scamming, we've already proved that on video. You know, all your 9s getting upgraded to a 10. Or PSA graded your card an 8 and a 9. Well, the 8, you know, the 9 is an 8 and the 8 is a 9. So they got that wrong. So that's 2 cards. So could you imagine how many cards have actually been graded by PSA, which are fucking incorrect, right?
There are so many scandals and so much garbage.
And then another subscriber on the channel, you know, cracked 2 cards, and their cards also went up. So those 2 went from a 7 and an 8, went up to an 8 and a 9, right? And I cracked 2 PSA slabs, and mine both went up. So you imagine, one went up, one went down, and the other 2 subscribed. That's 3 graded cards. Could you imagine how many graded cards they've touched? They've graded thousands of cards, right? So how many of them are actually true 10s, or how many are true 9s, right?
That you can pull from PSA. I would never trust them. Beckett, I know very little about. CGC, I know nothing about.
CGC scam.
But at the end of the day, outside of tag, your card grade is totally just up to the person's mood that's grading it that day.
Bow! Here we go. You're grading your mood. Yeah? Just a mood. What's the evidence on why the card is the grade? Oh, well, the card might be just a 6. I'm going to say it's a 6. Yeah. I'm going to give this off-center card. Hold on, guys. I got this off-center card. I'm going to give it a 10. It's ace grading. Yeah, this is ace grading. I'm going to give this a 10. Wait a minute. The back's off-center like 90%. Oh, yeah, that's a 10. Yeah, 10. I'm going to show you the label. We're the pro scammers on the UK market, right? We're the professional scammers on the UK market, right? So anyway, there's a part in this video where he states about PSA selling their own slabs. What does Ace Grading do? Ace Grading sells their own slabs. Does AGS sell its own slabs to the customers? Are they selling their own slabs? Are they going on? Do they have an eBay page? Do they have an eBay page selling their own slabs? No, right? They're not selling their own slabs on their own eBay page, right? So that's one good point. They're not. Their CEO is not sitting there doing trade shows selling all Ace slabs to the public. Oh, well, I'm the owner of Ace, and yeah, we upgrade your cards at Ace, and we'll give you a 10 if your card's off center. Most grading companies are a scam.
And you never know why your cards grade at whatever they come back at.
All right, so there you go. You grade with PSA, you get a 9. The guy's been is smoking all night. Hey, yeah, guys, this is a 6. Why is my card a 6? Well, I don't know why my card's a 6, right? So let's check the machine. Let's scan the card with AI. Yeah, boom, 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 boom. It was really laser scan it. Oh, my card's a 9. Why is my card a 9? Because your centering is off by like 60%, right? So, you know, your centering is way too far to the right, so this card is perfect other than the centering, but the centering is the main looking focus of the item, and you can see it's off center in a case, so we can't give this a 10. It has to be like a 9.5 or a 9, depending if the centering on the back is off as well, yeah? So, you know, centering on the back is usually 9.5, centering on the front is usually a 9, because the centering on the front is the main thing what you look at, right? So anyway.
They don't tell you, you have to guess, and there could easily be some shady shit going on there where maybe they don't want a whole lot of 10s out there. Maybe
yeah, this is another reason. Like, my Cran's Anif Pikachu, I'm going to have a look at that card. I don't believe that card's a 10, 9. I think it's a 10, but I didn't think... I'm going to have to check it and make sure the centering's not off on the back, because I don't think it's a 9, and I'll be highly surprised if it is a 9. Right, so when I have a look at that card, I'm going to have a look at that card and be like, wait a minute, if this card is actually a 10 or a 9, And I know that they dropped that grade on purpose. I'm going to regrade that card with AGS. Because I want to check, is that card actually a 9? Because if it's the centering's off on the back and the card's perfect, it's still a 9.5 at AGS. So we can still crack it and get a 9.5. Right? Because a 9.5 is better than a 9. But we know it's not a 10. But we know the reason why it's not a 10. And we know the reason why it's not a 9. Because PSA give it a 9. And we know by the evidence of the AI scan of why it would be a 9.5. Yeah? You see?
Maybe you gave them a 10, but by having more 10s in the population, it's going to devalue the other 10s out there. So maybe they decide to give you a 9 instead. Like, there's just too much guesswork. I just wouldn't trust it. PSA basically has a monopoly, right? Not a monopoly, but they are by far the biggest. Again, this channel also has something covering their market share dominance.
And there's also a thing where he says about selling their own cards, right? And I think it's around, maybe around here. I don't know exactly where it is in the video. I didn't like really save it, but it might be close around here.
We're once again a month.
Oops, hold on. There.
One moment.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it.
Right, so basically, I took a photo of this. Where was the actual evidence of the time? Wait, skip.
So still, most people are choosing PSA, but that's for TCG. Sports card graders are not doing PSA from what I've seen.
No, I didn't.
They're mainly doing Beckett, especially since they sell their own graded cards. It invites corruption. Exactly.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it says. It invites corruption.
That's why I think the offers program is just completely unacceptable from PSA.
Right, so it invites corruption, guys. It invites corruption. Where are we on this video? It's okay. So it invites corruption into the standard of selling the item, right? It invites corruption. Okay, you got this card, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just a shitty monster, whatever, and you go, this is a 9. Okay, why is it a 9? But guys, there's 20,000 9s on the pot report, and there's only like 20 10s. Oh yeah, we don't want a 10 because everyone at PSA owns the 10. Yeah! Everyone in the PSA office owns the 10. So we're going to say, this is a 9, but it's a 10. Alright, let's crack the 9. Let's send the 9 to AGS. AGS scan the card. Boom, boom, boom. Give you a 3D height map. Wait a minute. This card is a 10. Like, this is pristine by our, findings on our machine. Well, yeah, maybe they didn't give the card to the card because they all in the PSA office have the PSA 10. So it invites corruption, and the corruption that it invites also goes along the same method with ace grading. Ace grading. Well, the owner of ace grading is going selling his cards at a trade show. So it invites corruption. Yeah. Well, I can give my off-centre card a 10. And somebody will buy the 10. And the real 10 that is really a 10. Well, I'm going to give my card a 10. I'm going to give this guy a 9. So why do you think that because this guy is a part of the community, he is there to care about your cards? He does not care about your cards. You actually mentally insane individuals. Like, oh, but Randolph cares about the community. Yeah, well, alright. If he cared about the community, you wouldn't be allowing off-centre cards to be sold on eBay, right? Off-centre cards. I checked this one guy's page. I think his name's like Avalanche on eBay. And I was like, let's see what this guy's selling. Because AGS slabs popped up on his eBay. And he had 3 eBay AGS slabs pop up, right? And I'm like, maybe this guy's following me, maybe he isn't, right? And I looked at his eBay and I looked at his previous selling history, and he sold a Charizard from the UPC 024, and I looked at the card and I'm like, wow, that card is off center, and Ace gave it a 10, and he sold it for £100. So he sold that card on the grounds that that card is a 10, but when it's not a 10. So if I had looked at that card and I would have said, this is not a 10. This is well off center. It's off center. Go look on eBay. Go check like previous sold history of, you know, those Charizard cards. Charizard UPC 024 of the, you know, the promo box of the, you know, the new Charizard UPC they released. Go check all the sales history. Go look at the, you know, the Ace 9s or the Ace 10s, and you'll see that the mostly 90% of them are off center, right? On the back. The off center is way off center on the back. Like, that is not a 10. If the card is pristine and the centering's off on the back, it's a 9.5 or a 9. But under the Ace standards, it's a 9. Yeah? It can't be a 9.5 because they don't do 9.5. This is where you're getting scammed. Guys, you're getting scammed, and this is, you know, a guy. If you really want to go watch the video of what Charlie really hates PSA, go look at this video. Go look at this video, watch that video, look at your thoughts on what you're seeing on the video, and then come back to my video. And people say, am I sponsored by AGS? Am I receiving payments from AGS? No. Right? If they offer me a sponsorship, then, you know, I'll take it. Right? Because at the end of the day, like, their company is doing something that provides you with a correct grade. Right? And we grade with something that, you know, people will ridicule me for. People will ridicule me for this, right? They will ridicule me. They will say, oh, but, you know, hey, he's sponsored. That's what everyone's normal aspect of the video would be, right? But the fact is, I'm just more ahead of you, like I was ahead of you on SDK Blue Eyes White Dragon, and everyone told me that SDK, why would you want SDK Blue Eyes White Dragon? You'd want the LOB one from the booster box. I'm like, no, you wouldn't. Because the one from the booster box is printed more than the one that came from the starter deck. And the starter deck one sold for $60,000 for more money than the normal one from the booster box. So who was right? I proved you right again, right? And I'm going to prove you right again with the fact of the grading companies of who's going to sit around the top 3 companies. It's going to change because Beckett is marketing their black label, and if a card is not perfectly centered, or if it's perfectly centered, they're not even perfectly centered cards are not even getting the black label, because they're saying the centering's a 9.5. So they're corrupting Beckett as well. They're corrupting these companies. Thanks for watching my video, guys. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.